Why does America stand alone with its shops open 24/7 and a tipping culture that feels mandatory? Most people just accept these things as how it is. But what if this endless access and expected gratuity isn't just about making life easy? What if it's tied to something far bigger, a deep-seated truth about the country itself, something almost invisible, yet shaping everything? It's a rabbit hole that goes way deeper than just a late-night drive-thru. This whole always-on culture, where you can get anything, anytime, is everywhere you look in America. And the real reason why is actually kind of mind-blowing. A huge piece of the puzzle started with something you'd never expect: American homes. Over the last few decades, the average house in the suburbs has gotten way bigger. All that extra space meant people could suddenly start buying and storing things in bulk. And companies definitely noticed. Suddenly, products weren't really built to last anymore. They were built to be replaced. Think about it. A sewing machine sold somewhere like Tokyo might be made of metal, designed to last a lifetime. In the US, it's probably plastic, just another appliance you'll toss in a few years. The old motto of buy once, use for life completely flipped. It became buy cheap and buy more. This one simple change created the world of 24/7 convenience we see today. So, we're going to break down how this happened and uncover the real logic behind America's obsession with making everything so easy and instant. But it wasn't just the houses themselves. It was where they were built. See, America isn't built like most other countries. Instead of cities growing upwards, they grew outwards, creating massive, sprawling suburbs. Everything is spread far apart. Your house is over here, your job is way over there, and the grocery store is somewhere else entirely. There's only one way to connect all those dots: the car. This created a country that basically runs on highways. And once you're living your life from the driver's seat, the world has to change to accommodate you. This is the real reason America invented the drive-thru. It's not just about being lazy. In a sprawling suburb, it's about efficiency. You're already in your car, so why would you get out, walk into a building, and wait when you could just stay put? Businesses quickly realized they had to cater to the car. McDonald's, banks, pharmacies, even coffee shops. Everything was redesigned to be accessed from a vehicle. But it goes even deeper. Because everything is so spread out, a quick trip to the store isn't really a quick trip. It's a whole event. You have to get in the car and drive. So, if you realize you're out of milk at 11 p.m., you can't just walk to a corner store. And that's why 24/7 convenience became an absolute necessity. Grocery stores, drugstores, and fast food joints had to stay open all night. They knew people might be driving home from a late shift or just running an errand at 2 in the morning. If they were open, they'd get the business. This entire system feeds itself. The suburbs created a dependency on cars. The cars created a demand for drive-thrus and 24/7 access. And it all links back to those big houses. Think about a store like Costco. In the 1970s, they mostly sold to small businesses. But by the 80s, they realized their new target customer was the suburban family. Why? Because that family now had a garage or a basement big enough to store a 25-pound bag of flour and a 48-pack of toilet paper. They had a giant pickup truck or an SUV in the driveway to haul it all home from the store. Without the sprawling suburbs, the highways, the big cars, and the huge houses with tons of storage, the entire business model of big box stores and constant convenience just falls apart. It's a perfectly interconnected system. But all this constant service, this 24/7 access, has a hidden engine running underneath it. It's a system that most of the world finds completely baffling. And it all comes down to the tip jar. Now, in most countries, a tip is a small bonus. A little extra something you give for truly exceptional service. It's a nice to have, but nobody's counting on it to pay their rent. But in America, it's a completely different story. As one person from Australia pointed out, if they did their same job in the US, they'd probably get a tip 90% of the time. Back home, almost never. Because in America, the tip isn't a bonus. For millions of waiters, bartenders, and delivery drivers, the tip is their salary. This is the economic loophole that American service is built on. It's a system where businesses are legally allowed to pay their staff a much lower base wage, far below the standard minimum wage. Why? Because it's assumed that customers will make up the difference with their tips. So when you leave a 20% tip, you're not just saying thank you. You're directly paying a huge chunk of that person's wages. You are literally subsidizing their income so the business owner doesn't have to. It shifts the responsibility of paying the employee from the employer to you. This creates a culture where tipping isn't just polite. It's seen as an absolute obligation. Because if you don't tip, that person might not make enough money to cover their bills. The entire system depends on customers participating. It's a strange and often controversial model, but it's what allows so many service-based businesses, from late-night diners to sprawling restaurants, to keep their labor costs incredibly low. And when labor costs are low, you can afford to have more staff, stay open for longer hours, and offer that round-the-clock convenience everyone now expects. It's another piece of the puzzle. The big houses need the big cars. The big cars need the 24/7 stores. And the 24/7 stores need a cheap way to pay their employees. And this massive system of nonstop convenience is built on something even bigger, a cultural mindset. It's a deep-seated expectation for more all the time. People who move to the US are often stunned by it. They notice things Americans take for granted, like grocery stores and pharmacies being open 24/7, drive-thrus for literally everything, and free refills on your soda at almost any restaurant. In most of the world, that's not normal. But in America, it's the baseline. There's an always-on feeling to life, a demand for getting what you want right now. And this thinking doesn't just apply to services. It has completely reshaped the very stuff Americans buy. It all ties back to those suburban houses we talked about. Over the last 50 years, the average American home has gotten way bigger, growing from around 1,500 square feet to nearly 2,500. And all that extra space created a new kind of logic. Suddenly, you had room for bulk shopping at places like Costco. You could fit a giant French door refrigerator, massive patio furniture, or even one of those ridiculous 12-foot tall Halloween skeletons. And if you want proof, just look at what people are actually throwing away. A recent study in Seattle looked at what was in residential trash. After construction debris, the second biggest category was furniture, appliances, and electronics, making up 15% of the pile. Here's the crazy part. Even after the mid-2000s, when our TVs and gadgets started getting lighter and smaller, the total volume of waste we created kept going up. The demand for more stuff drives the demand for bigger stores, which drives the demand for 24/7 access to everything. So, America's unique setup with shops always open and tipping everywhere isn't just a random way of doing things. It all started with sprawling suburbs and a reliance on cars, which created a massive demand for instant, constant access to everything. Tipping then became the hidden engine, allowing businesses to afford the huge staff needed to keep that always-on service running cheap.